Imagine an application where changing the set point doesn't change an instant jump. Instead, the value smoothly ramps up or ramps down over the time, creating a controlled and stable response.
Now let's see how we can implement this idea in the TIA portal. So first of all, we will create a data block. I have already created this DB1 data block. I'll open this data block, and here we have to create two variables to record our effective set point and the new set point. So first of all, we will create here new SP, which is new set point, and data type will be integer. Next, we will create effective set point, and its data type will be integer. Next, we have to create two Boolean flags, and these flags will detect the new set point is greater than effective set point, or effective set point is greater than the new set point. So we can write here new SP greater than effective SP, and the data type will be Boolean. Next, new set point less than effective set point. Next, we have to create the edge bits. So these are the bits which we will use in our edge detection instruction, and this will be array of booleans. Okay, now we are ready to go to the OB1 block and do some programming. We'll split the view into two halves, and in the OB1 we will insert a network here. In the first network, we will detect if new set point is greater than effective set point. Now to detect, we will use our math instructions and comparison instruction. And in the comparator, we will go to the greater than. We can drag and drop our new SP variable here, and it will be compared with this effective set point variable. So once the new set point is greater than the effective set point, we will turn on a coil, and we can insert this flag. Once this condition is true in the network number 2, this contact will be closed. Once this is closed, we will insert here a NO contact of M0.5, which is clock bit of the PLC, and it will be turning on and off at the 1 Hz frequency. Means every 1 second this flag will go from low to high and high to low. Now to use this clock byte, we have to go to device configuration, properties, and in the clock memory we have to enable this clock memory byte 0. Coming back to the network number 2, so when the new set point is greater than the effective set point, this bit will be closed, and next this clock bit M0.5 is also turning on and off. Now to detect the rising edge of this one, we'll use this ptrick command, and we can assign it this edge 1 bit. Next we have to add the set point. So for this one, we'll go to the math instructions, and we will drag and drop this add function. We will insert here our effective set point in the in2, and in 1 we can insert 1, and what it will do on each rising edge, it will add 1 in the effective set point value and store the result in back into this effective set point itself. So why we use this rising edge detection here before this add operation? Because without this rising edge detection, this function can add really fast into this effective set point, and it can reach thousands of values within milliseconds. So by using this rising edge detection, one PLC scan, if it detects the rising edge, it will add only one time the value 1 into this effective set point. Next in the network number 3, we have to detect if the new set point is less than effective set point. Now to detect this, we have to use the comparator operation with the less than sign. So if the new set point is less than effective set point, now if the new set point is less than the effective set point, we will turn on this bit new set point less than effective set point. And the network number 4, we will copy and paste this bit here. Now this contact, NO contact will be closed if this condition is true. We can use here same M0.5 clock bit here, which is clocking at 1 Hz. Next, to detect the rising edge, we will use the P trigger, and this time we will use this edge 2 bit. Next, we have to subtract our value to bring down our effective set point. For this one, we will use a subtraction operation, and we can drag and drop here our effective set point at the in 1, and in the in 2 we will insert the value 1. Next, we want to copy the result or save the result back into this effective set point, so we can insert here the effective set point at the output. Now once the new set point is less than the effective set point, this bit will get closed, and every second on the rising edge, this subtract instruction will subtract the value 1 from the effective set point and save it back to the effective set point variable. And this will create a loop until the effective set point is equal to the new set point value entered. Now our logic is ready. We will download this. As you can see that right now, new set point and effective set point both are 5, both are equal. Let's increase the new set point value to 50, 35. As you can see that the effective set point is not directly jumping to the 35. Instead, every second it is adding up here, and slowly it is going towards the value 35. Right now it's 23, and every second it is adding and increasing by the value of 1, and slowly it will reach to the value of the 35 and stops there. Now let's suppose if the operator want to decrease the set point, modify operand, and this time we can bring it down to 10. As you can see that now again the set point start to decrease. Every second it is reducing, and right now it's 15. So it's ramping down and going down towards the value of 10. And as you can see that it reach there and stops there at the value of 10. And so that's how we can make a logic to slowly ramp up and ramp down the set points. For the more complex operations, there is a function block in the TIA portal already pre-built named as ramp. We can use this for more complex operations.